Psalms is a book of songs that are written by King David. This is known as a man that God says, a man after my own heart. And this is David. You're like, man, he must be like super spiritual. Yeah. Murderer, adulterer, a man after God's own heart. Say what? How's that possible? That God would say that this broken man can be someone after my heart. So all I can say for you, man, breathe a sigh of relief. I look across the room and I'm like, you too can be a man or a woman after God's own heart. Because if God gives you his heart of flesh, it will transform the way you see and live your life. And so I'm praying that for you today. Today we're going to read from Psalm 37 and ask the question, can I trust God? I think that's a question that many people today are wrestling with. Our nation is wrestling with that. Our world is wrestling with that. And so written towards the end of life here in Psalm 37, David shows that he's going to give some words and a walk of wisdom, so that way we're actually behaving wisely and not foolishly, that he wants us to walk in a way where we don't worry. Or perhaps for some of us, we need to be set free from our fear, and we need to walk in new patterns of faith. And so David is going to share with us how he has grown in his confidence with the Lord. Read with me. Fret not yourself because of evildoers, but not envious of wrongdoers. For they will soon fade like grass and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your justice as the noonday. What we see in this passage right here in this first portion is this. It's that God is my deliverer, and because he's my deliverer, that I can be cheerful. You can be filled with joy because God is the one who will deliver you. Where do you look for your help? It's not in anyone. It's nothing here on earth. Your help is found in God alone. And David understood that keenly. Because God is our deliverer, we are not to fret over those who do evil. The word fret really implies this thing of don't let this worry or this anxiety or this anger to get you all heated up, and that you would be so focused on those who do wrong. Why? Because those people who do wrong, their days are numbered. Their days are numbered. This season of prosperity that they are in will soon pass. And we don't get heated up because God, in the end, is the one who'll bring the heat. Like, we all want justice. We all want to see people who've done wrong to actually have a sense of justice, that they actually got payment or justice for their wrongdoing. That is, unless it's us. But we want it for them. But here's the reality. Only God brings perfect justice. Only God exacts perfect justice. The challenge is that many believers also become envious. We actually look at the situation they're in, and whether we like to acknowledge it or not, or even to admit it or tell someone this, we can become covetous or envious of their situation, actually wish that we were experiencing what they are experiencing. It feels like the rich get richer. It seems like those who do wrong prosper. And it used to be stuff that was like hidden, and you'd find out about that people are prospering in the shady deals in the back room. It's now out in the open. And we as people, justice-loving people, because we're made in God's image, we want justice, and we fixate on that. And so in light of that, we can become envious. We wish we could trade circumstances. But a theologian that actually wrote on this, he actually had a great take. He said that it's like watching someone on death row eating a fine steak, baked potato, and asparagus and creme brulee. That's maybe a dessert you like. It just sounded fancy. On the night before their execution, and wishing that you could trade spots. In the moment, it looks good. You're on this side looking in, you're like, man, I wish I could have that. Do you really want to trade? Because when that meal is gone, when that all burns up, it's judgment day. It is better to be poor and spiritually rich on this side of the bars than to be enslaved and rich on that side, right?